Hi everyone, it's Lillian here, and this is just a real spur of the moment Facebook Live. I was playing with some celebration items and I thought, well, why don't I just go live and play with you so that you can see the whole process too. I absolutely love celebration, and there are several reasons why I love celebration. I love it because, first of all, you get free things. So it makes your dollar go farther, but it's also that there's so many ideas that are expanded, and so many of the things coordinate with things in the other catalogs, and it just all goes together beautifully. So I absolutely love it, and I'm going to share more reasons why I love it as we do do a little playing and exploring this morning. So let's go down to my desk and see what it's all about. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. I'm so glad you could catch me. I hope you're having good weather where you are and that you're having a good summer. Let me just get things set up here and see what's happening. There we go. And just making sure the computer is set up as well. And while you were doing this, if you have your celebration brochure with you, that would be super, because then you can go through and make little notes to yourself or whatever. The sun's shining, excellent. The sun is shining here too, which it hasn't been lately. So I'm really happy about that. It has been absolutely pouring. In fact, it's been pouring so much that one of our neighbors' trees is coming down, and it's a gigantic one, and it's resting on their roof right now. So I'm glad it's there and not on our roof, but we've got some excitement happening around here, I think. So let's see. There we go. All right. So Irene, you're up there too. Excellent. And I see some more people hopping on. Wonderful, wonderful. So celebration sometimes is known as SAB, S-A-B. It's just the short way of doing it. It happens twice a year. It happens in January and February, and then again in the summer months, July and August. And the items in here are only available while supplies last. So I'll talk a little bit more about that too in a minute. So when you open it up, there's a little sort of intro page, and it talks about what these symbols mean. And so some of the items in here, you get free with a $60 order, and some you get free with a $120 order because they're a little bigger and more involved. They're also, you'll see this symbol, and so those kinds of stamps are distinctive. They have lights and dark areas. Here's, you can see what languages it's available, and this shows, it means that those dies would fit in the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine too. So let's flip over to the very first page. The first page here is again, is free with a $60 order, and it's the Hippest Hippos. And I've shown you some cards with these before, so I will just show you them again in a minute. But before we do that, I wanted to look at this too. So for a different $60 order, because every time you spend $60, you can get more, you can get the dies that match these hippos. Now, I have this to remind me here that remember that celebration items are only while supplies last. Now, Stampin' Up! Makes their stamps in Utah. So the chances are they'll still have the stamps, but all of the dies, the designer paper, so the cards, the consumable items, they come from, a lot of them from overseas or from far away. So if you are loving both of these things, but you can only get one right now, I would get this first and then this, because chances are that this will be in stock longer than this, because once this is gone, it is gone. So let's just talk about that a little bit here. Where did I put? Here they are, right here. So the dies, there are actually 19 dies. Look at them all. So, and just they're all on here, all different directions. So here I've made my little sheet. So 3 of the dies cut out the hippos, but then there's all kinds of things. And look at the waves even have embossing on them. So does the life preserver. They're just fabulous. Now, these dies might work on other things as well. So, for example, here are the eyeglasses. You can go through your stamps and try them out. For example, here's the little penguin. He could have some eyeglasses on here, right? Or we could take the birthday hat, where is it here, and put it on. Whoops, hang on, my fingers are not. And you could do that. So you could look at your stamps and see what you have. These little accessories work with other things other than the hippos. So what cute little animal or creature might you have that the umbrella would work with? So there's all kinds of potential. So that is the other neat thing. Stampin' Up! Stuff coordinates across all 3 catalogs. So that's so neat. So here are the I've shown you these cards before. I showed you this one in a video when I was showing about masking paper. And so here, and some great sentiments in that hippo stamp set as well. And then I showed you this one here as well. I cased this from the catalog, but I added these fun little beads here when I was showing you, actually. So it's in the video where I was showing you about the embossing accessory kit. So just in case you're going back looking for that. So that's the hippos. So 2 fabulous things there. So let's turn over the page. I'm getting some glare here. I better move my lights. And this page here is a double spread, but it's really featuring this designer paper, which I have to admit, when I first looked at it, I thought, yeah, it's okay. But I have fallen in love with it once I had it in my hands, as that so often happens with designer paper. It coordinates with the, what's it called now? The Ringed with Nature bundle in the mini catalog. So in this catalog here, but it will actually work with all kinds of things. And I'm going to show you a little bit about that in a second here. So let me just bring it in. So I did do one of my swatch things. So these are the coordinating colors. So it's Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Mint Macaron, Night of Navy, Parakeet Party, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, and Soft Suede. All those colors, and this is one side and the other. So the flip sides are side by side like that. And here I've actually used a lot of this paper. I can't quite believe it. So I've done a demo with this already, and then I'll show you a card made with some of this paper. I just love that. And I'll show you a card made with some of this paper. And then there's this and this. And this, you could cut out the houses or even just a square and make great housewarming cards and that kind of thing. And then on the back, we have these fabulous designs. So just, it sort of covers everything, right? So let's see here. Where did I use some of this paper? Well, you might recall that when I was showing you again the embossing kit, I showed you how to make a shaker card, but I only showed you part of it. Well, I finished it, but the paper here in the background is actually from here. But it goes perfectly with all the gnome stuff that's in this catalog. So again, it goes right across the board. And isn't that a fun shaker card? Nice and noisy. It'll drive some parent absolutely crazy. But so that's one way I used it. Another way I use that designer paper is I used the deckled rectangles dies and just cut out a piece of it and put it on a larger piece. added some sentiments and put it on something else from Celebration. So let's take a look to see what I put it on. Right here we have the pool party and soft sea foam cards and envelopes. Now when I was showcasing the Splendid Day Suite, I showed you a card made with this. And so let's just bring it in and have a little review. So what you get is you get 20 card bases. So 10 with the soft sea foam. So the design is already on there. They're scored. They're all ready to fold. And then they're white on the inside. And the same with the pool party. So you've got those two. And then the envelopes are all in this gorgeous soft sea foam. They've got some little designs on them that really are pretty generic, and then this on the inside. So gorgeous. If you want quick and easy cards, this is a great way to get jump started. And that's what I used on the bottom of this one here. And then just I showed you this one. So this is the soft sea foam with the Splendid Day there. So that's there. Now let's move over to here. Right here is something called Stylish Sketches. So that is this stamp set here. So you get 4 stamps, because this is a little stamp here, and this is just a terrific little stamp. So these are sort of artsy kinds of things. They look like someone's done a drawing, and they are the cling, so they're red rubber. And so I, again, in a past video, showed you this one here. So this is using that Rings of Love designer paper, and then I stamped here and did a bit of watercoloring, just like that. But then I thought, well, what if you did not want to watercolor? How could you use this stamp set? So what I did was I stamped it, and I could have stamped it right on white paper, basic white, but I stamped it on some deckled edge using gray granite. I added some speckles in the background, and then I used the Hues of Happiness Abounds, pardon me, stamp set, the one that I was missing for a while, because it has long, narrow greetings, and I wanted it to be able to fit there. Then I put gray granite behind it, and then I used that famous leaf fallen embossing folder that I'm hooked on. And just like that, I have got a set of 3 cards that would be perfect for gift giving or just to have on hand. I didn't color anything in. It was just one ink color, basic white as well as gray granite cardstock, and good to go. And you can dress that up or down as much as you want, but I really, really like that. I got the idea from, I believe it's a Dutch demonstrator, and she used our note cards and envelopes and just stamped right on the note card in gray granite, and it looked so good. So I was impressed with that. So I wanted to share that as well. Now, if we flip over, we have something here, and you might have almost missed it, but if you look right here, this is designer paper that is metallic spots on it, spots and stripes and designs. So if we open it up, half of them are in gold and half are in silver, but they're the same designs. So they're blank on the back, but you've got these lines, these spots. So here's the silver spots, and then lines and spots in silver, just like that. So you've got a great selection. They're 6 by 6, so you can use them as is. So for example, if you had some paper and you put that on, it would look stunning just the way it is. But I always like to also have a look-see at what they did with it. And look at, they've got these spots, but they're colored. And how did they do it? Well, there's your clue right there. So what I did is I just copied the sample in the catalog. And I brought in my blending brush and I blended over top. So you just take this, you blend over top, and then I usually take a Kleenex or a tissue or something and just wipe the excess off. And you can make this paper any color you want it to be. So that's what I did here. And then, of course, I used words from here. I used the hey and the you did it from here and did this here. So just cased the brochure right there, and I'm really, really happy with that. Speaking of this stamp set, look at the combinations of words you can have. So it's fun to kind of go through. Amazing, or it's going to be amazing. You've got this. Hey, you've got this. To you too. Oh, so you can mix them up, or you can, even the smaller ones you can put together. So you can have lots of potential with these words. They are amazing phrasing. So you can expand those, and the number of combos you can make are really endless. So let's turn over the, oh, I should stop right here and just remember, this was free with a $60, but this one is so amazing. It's a $120 one. So when you spend $120, you could get that. Then over the page is this one here. And I'm going to spend just a moment with this. So this is a set of dies. It's a $120 level one. It's called Tree Lot Dies. Now it coordinates with the stamp set in the catalog. It coordinates with the Trees for Sale stamp set, but it also is a stand-alone. So if you don't have that stamp set, you still can use this a ton. There are 24 dies in it. So let me just bring in some of the things that I want to share with you about that. So here is the die set right here. Look at all the stuff in here. So there's the big tree, and then you've got the detail, you've got your trailer, perfect for camping and that kind of thing, as well as any other time. Some of these things, I wasn't sure what they were initially, but these are stands for the trees, and this is little logs for a fire, a little curtain for the window. This, I wasn't sure what it was, but you know what? I'm going to bring in some stuff here and just show you how it all works. So I started to cut things out, and I just had some fun. I cut out a lot of trailers. When I was talking about what is this die right here, well, when you run it through the die cutting machine, it comes out in two pieces, even though the die is one piece. Let me just show you. So the die is one piece, but when it goes through, it cuts two pieces, and they are for the top and the bottom of the trailer. So let's stop and just add those on right now. So just put a bit of adhesive there. Ooh, I got pretty generous. And so just like that, you have already started to create your trailer. Now, when you run it through your Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, the windows get cut out. So I've kept those. I've also cut them out of silver, and I've done vellum as well, all different kinds of things. So you can always pop those in. So now, what if I wanted this to be a more realistic looking? So I wanted it to be a different color. I could use a scrap of, say, the silver foil and cut it and just glue it on like that. Or you can make it a little bit easier, and you can take your black blends. I need to bring some scrap paper in here. Because blends soak through, I put it on something else. So you could bring in your black blends and just color it. Or your marker would work too. So just like that, we've got it looking like that now. Now tires usually are not turquoise, right? Or Coastal Cabana. I'm just going to color the tire in. Just like that. Now, when I ran through the dye and I did it in silver, I ended up with silver pieces that came from here. When you take your scissors and cut that circle in half, just like that, it works perfectly for a hubcap. So let's put just a bit of, when I'm using small pieces, I often put the adhesive right on the, where I want it to go. It's just that much easier. So now I'm putting that here. Put a little too much adhesive there. Blot it off. There we go. So now I have a trailer with black wheel and a hubcap, black here, and I can start to do other things that, you know, whatever. I could take the little dog and have him hanging out the window. And then I could put a window behind him, just like that. So it could go like that. I could take another one and then cut the door out, which actually is really, really easy to do. So maybe I could put a silver door here, just like that. Now, this trailer has a wreath, so you could do that kind of thing. You can do all kinds of things with the trailer alone. So that's just one part of the die set, though. And I'll talk about the curtain later. Another part of the die set is the trees. So there's 3 different sizes, and you can have a large, full tree, and then you get the outline. So what I did is I put an adhesive sheet on the back of here, I think. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. There we go. And then I can just put it on here, and I have a great, in this case, snow on the tree. So it's a great Christmas tree, just like that. I will just slide this out. I'm going to show you a finished card, but I just wanted to show how you could take and then put the little curtain in the window. So all kinds of things like that. This is all bits and pieces here. So I'm going to move this out of the way and bring in my silicone mat and show you a few things that I finished. So for the trees, I did trees in a few different colors here, but you can see the 3 different sizes. So they can make a great little grouping of trees very easily. There is this banner type of thing. And you can, again, just bring in your markers or blends and color that. So here's one of my little trailers that I made. I have to tell you, these are rather addictive. So once you start playing with them, so you could hang that on your trailer. Here's another one like that. And I just had so much fun. And so I have finished a card off with this one here. So I have the trees in the background. I have my little trailer here at the lake on a grassy knoll here. And then in the background, I'm going to share, I use the Rays of Light stamp set. This is one of those great big ones like that, and it is fabulous. I really like how it stamps. It's not solid. It's got all kinds of texture in it there. And I just really, really liked it. But you might say, well, what about putting words on here? Well, I went back to my amazing phrasing, and I stamped and then just loosey-goosey cut it. There's a better word for that. And if I wanted, I could add that. I was tempted to stamp in black right on here, but I was scared I was going to make a mess. But you could have done that too. And I didn't think to do that till I was all done, so there's no way I was going to risk it. But you can add words or you can leave it blank, whichever way you want to do there. So there is that card there. Now this is the stamp set that does coordinate with those dies. So you can see that, where did I put... Oh, I can't. Anyway, this the die cuts this out. You've got little paw prints right here. So there's the tree stand. There's all kinds of stuff here. So just a really amazing set of products. You also could use your ocean front. So you could have your water and your grasses and rocks. I think that would work well with it too. Now, I'm going to bring in, here is a card that we made with the He's the Man designer paper. But can you just see, instead of using this, I could actually substitute one of these little trailers too. So there's all kinds of potential, right? So this is what some other people have done. This is, I believe, a German demonstrator. She did a little collection of trailers, so you can see that there's some of the ideas there. And then I wanted to bring in this as well, because I wanted to show, like, the He's the Man designer paper really fits well with it. The vellum layering designs is like a map, and so I think this would look neat to have the trailer on it. And this is what I was looking for earlier. This is everything that the dies cut out. So there is... I'm sorry, I have a mosquito that's joined me. I don't know how it got in here. So there are all kinds of little things like this, the little logs, the banner, the lights, just tons and tons of stuff. So I think those dies are absolutely amazing myself. Anyway, so there's that. And so we'll move on. So just a little... hint, if there are cards that I am showing you that you wish you could receive in the mail, leave a comment and let me know. So some of the cards that we've done, leave a comment, and who knows, maybe you'll be getting it in the mail. Now there's one other $120 level. So we call it level 2, and this one includes designer paper and a stamp set, and this is just stunning as well. So you can see samples here, but let me just bring in the designer paper first. Got all these goodies. So the designer paper has all of these colors in it. I've shown samples from here before. So we're just going to review them a little bit, but here's, look, you could even just cut out some of these flowers and have great cards. And then on the back, again, is your more generic. So we've got this one and that. This one's nice and soft. Now these flowers that they are featuring here are actually from different parts of the world. They're symbolic of from different parts of the world. So there's a little story behind them. Now I made a card with this one, and it's gone missing somewhere. But you saw, oh no, I'll be showing it later here. Well, I will dig down and get it now. I took a punch and just punched out some of these and made this card right here. So there isn't even any stamping on this card. And I'll tell you, I ordered, when I was making this card, I planned to use the other side of this designer paper. And when I flipped it over, I used this side. So basically anything goes, right? So we've got that and that. Right, this was the side that I was initially going to use, and then went that way. So let's also take a look at the stamp set. So here it is here, and this is one of the distinctive ones. So it's got the lights and dark, and I'm going to make one quick card, or yeah, I'm making one quick card. So I've got one of the deckled, a piece of paper cut out with the deckled dies, and I'm just going to ink up this one here. So I'm going to ink it up in Rich Raspberry. Rich Raspberry seems to be rather juicy. I'll close that up, and we'll stamp it. And it's absolutely stunning. Look at all the lights and darks. Isn't that marvelous? But it's World Watercoloring Month, right? What about if we brought in our water painters, and if we took our water painters and we just spread the ink with a damp water painter? Look at how it changes it even more. So you get a different look. So what's happening there is the water on my brush is just spreading the ink that was from my stamp, and I'm getting that kind of look. And where did I put my scrap paper? Well, I'll just clean that later. Try to remember. Now, but what if I brought in my Wink of Stella? Would it work the same way? Because Wink of Stella is wet. It does. It works the same way, and it adds a bit of sparkle. Now, I'm not going to do this whole thing, but I wanted to show this technique because it's one that I tend to forget quite often, and it's spectacular with these flowers particularly. I don't know if you can see, but the ones I did with Wink of Stella have a little bit of sparkle. Now you could also stamp this flower on shimmery white and have sparkle everywhere. All kinds of wonderful things. So I kept it really simple. So here is one that I used. This was strictly with the water painter. And then I just added a little bit of designer paper. I didn't even do any embossing or add any embellishments. I wanted you to see how this could just shine on its own. And if you guys know me, I love to use my embossing folders and embellishments. But there is the finished card right there. And there is like that. So there is another idea for that. And then again, you can use just the designer paper, and it makes a gorgeous, gorgeous card like that. So those are those items that are in the celebration, but there's more. And this is another reason why I love celebration. If you host, so in other words, if you gather together orders from friends or relatives or from yourself, so that you end up with a $375 party. Party means just gathering orders together. You get a bonus. So with $375, you get something called Stampin' Rewards. $200 and up, you get Stampin' Rewards. So at $375, you would get, or more, you would get 12%. So 12% of $375 is $45. You would get $45 in Stampin' Rewards to get whatever you want to get. It's sort of like extra money that you get to spend on any Stampin' Up product you want. But over and above that, you get this free bonus stamp set. So they've even upped it so you get even more. So it is really neat. It's called Perfect Pomegranate. I've seen really neat stuff done with it. I haven't got it yet, but I hope to get it soon. And then another reason why I love celebration is if you want to join. Now, join means to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Does that mean you have to do videos? Does that mean you have to teach people how to do things? No, you're welcome to, but Stampin' Up! Doesn't require that You can do it just for yourself. You can do it just for the starter kit. You can use it however you want. But during celebration, not only do you get $165 worth of product for $135, which is the normal, no shipping and handling, no GST. You also get some business supplies, and you also get a paper pumpkin kit. Then during celebration, you get this Making Plans collection. And that is like a fancy day timer with all kinds of page inserts and stickers. It has this stamp set that goes with it. It has these 3 notebooks that go with it. So these are all over and above. So this is an amazing, amazing collection of things. So if that interests you, that's something to consider as well. And then, of course, there are even more ideas on the back. So remember, I've shown you something today that you would like to know more about or to purchase, you can contact me or you can go to my website. If you have questions, that's if you live in Canada. If you have questions, please feel free to contact me. If you would like one of the cards that I demonstrated today, let me just find some of them here. I don't know where they all are, but let's see. Let me know what card you think you would like. And who knows, maybe you'll be able to get a card in the mail. So leave me a comment. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, yes, you can get a card too. So leave a comment. If you're watching the replay, yes, you can get a card too. So leave a comment. I will draw for these cards on Monday. How's that? So that's... and then, yes, I will be doing a Facebook Live on Monday as well. So there we go. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click that subscribe button. And there's a little bell there. Click the bell and you will be notified when I go to post a new video. If you're watching on Facebook, please remember to hit that to follow me and to hit that like button. It just helps my business a little bit as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this inspires you with your Stampin' Up! Products, and have some fun. Bye-bye.